If you're in the market for a run and gun lens, good for everything from landscapes to portraits, everything in between, you don't need wider than 28, just stop right here. Click that link down below because you will not be disappointed in this lens. Now, Sigma Canada kindly lent me this lens over the past month or so, and I've been using the shit out of it. Seriously. I've used it for 3 different weddings, took it to Toronto for photo and video, shot a real estate promo with it, a gym promo, one of my one lens films. I've been using it every opportunity I possibly can. And I'm going to show you a lot of photo and video today while we go over my thoughts talking about it. Now, I previously reviewed the Tamron 28-75 a couple of years back, and while it's not a bad lens, it just never really felt like anything special. The image didn't wow me, the autofocus was a bit janky at times, especially in low light. I bought it, I had it a couple of months, and I sold it. When I saw this lens get announced from Sigma, it looked like Sigma was putting a big old target on Tamron's back and aiming for it. They're both budget friendly, nearly identical in price, both f2.8, both 67mm threads, both have 19cm minimum focus distance. I honestly thought it would be much the same as the Tammy and I probably wouldn't love it. But I quickly learned I was quite wrong. But before we go into a bit more detail about the lens and what I liked and the video examples and all that good stuff, I want to talk to you about a supporter of the channel, which is Cuts. Now don't skip ahead, I want to share with you a quick story. At the weekend I was at a party. We can go to parties again now, which is nice. My sister-in-law was there and I haven't seen her in a while, and she hasn't seen me wearing one of these t-shirts, which is from Cuts. And I've never had a compliment from someone about a t-shirt that I'm wearing, especially someone that's younger than me and a little bit more fashionable than me. I'm getting older, so I'm not really up there with my fashion sense. I'm not in the best shape of my life, and we're working on that. But she complimented me on how nice this fit, how it looked. She wanted to touch, that sounds weird, doesn't it? But she wanted to touch the t-shirt to see how it felt because it just looked really premium, I guess is the best way to describe it. They are premium men's t-shirts. You are going to get compliments from people. They come in different styles, different cuts, probably where they got their name from. There's something for everyone. There's a bunch of different colors, and they make hoodies as well. So if you are interested in picking any of these up, click the link down below. You will get a discount code. And yeah, that's that. Back to the video. So the Sigma 28-70 image reminds me ever so much of the 24-70. It's crisp, has a beautiful look. It's that look, you know, where you don't know why you like it, but you just like how it looks. That's what you get. It's only 470 grams, which is 365 grams less than the 24-70, and that's 80 grams less than the Tamron, which means it fits the bill perfectly for being a gimbal lens. Now, the 24-70 will definitely balance with a Sony mirrorless on a gimbal, but put it in a cage like I do a lot, and it definitely becomes more of a challenge. It's going to get heavy quick, and to lug that around for a day, you're almost certainly going to get some stern words from your back the next morning. But the 28-70 being so small and lightweight, even in a cage, makes it a much lighter option with not much sacrifice in image quality, which I know you want to know about. Now, comparatively speaking, I'm not a pixel peeper. Here's a few shots side by side with the 24-70, set up on a tripod, same settings. I'll let you be the judge. There's not a huge amount of difference, and if I weren't to tell you which is which with the titles on the screen here, you'd probably find it hard to tell the difference. Now on the watch, it's a bit more obvious. Look at the curved lines and you'll see the 24-70 is slightly sharper. I'd also say that the 24-70 is a little bit more contrasty. Let's go to out in the field, Chris, to let you see how the autofocus performs.
How about an autofocus test at 28mm? Got my sunglasses on, so it's not able to use my eye, but does it work? Getting nice and close there. How is it? Out the frame. Back into the frame. Nice and close. Out the frame. Back in. How is it? How about that same test, but at 70mm instead? F2.8. I don't know if I said that before, but we are at F2.8. Does it work all right? Backwards. Is it tracking me? How about if I go out the frame? And then back in the frame a little bit closer. How does that work? Does it work?
Now, how about some video examples? The good stuff. Now, all of this was shot in 4K on the A7S III and the FX3, and I personally don't see a need for it to be any sharper than it is. It's pretty perfect, to be honest with you. Tell me what you think down in the comments below as you're enjoying this. How about some photos? Let's roll those now. Now, of course, there are some negatives, one of which you may have noticed. I mean, you probably should have noticed it. There's very heavy vignetting at 28mm, so it's something to be aware of. Now, for photos, it can be reduced in Lightroom, but it's still there. Build quality is definitely lower than the 24-70. For example, the focus ring and the zoom rings on them, it's a bit more grippy on the 24-70, and they feel more plasticky on the 28-70. And towards the rear of the 24-70, this is all made of metal and it's plasticky on here. But it's also $200 less, so it's kind of to be expected. Now, how's the dust? Everyone always seems to moan about the 24-70 having a dust issue, and it does have a dust issue. Dust gets inside here, but it doesn't affect the image quality, so stop worrying about that. But I've had the 28-70 now for best part of a month, and there's not a lick of dust on the inside there, so Sigma's obviously got that issue fixed. Now on the 24-70, you have two switches. You have a lock switch there for stopping it fall out of 24. You also have a manual focus, autofocus switch. On the side of the 28-70, you have one switch, which is your autofocus manual focus switch, which kind of feels just like the switch on the 24-70, if I'm honest. Is it weather sealed? Well, not really. There is a rubber seal there. The seal is definitely thinner than 24-70 for reference. It says dust and splash resistant, so I wouldn't be taking it out in severe rain like I did. It was fine, but you probably shouldn't be doing that. Sorry, Sigma. Now, of course, the other elephant in the room is this is only a 28mm, which means for certain things, it really isn't a one-size-fits-all lens. 28mm is a bit tight for vlogging, in my opinion. It's usable, but it's more of a personal preference thing. I find the difference between 24 and 28 to be a fair amount, and if you do as well, and you're not worried about the weight of the 24-70, I'd probably say go with that instead. It's a little bit more versatile. But if you don't need that extra reach, you don't mind the build quality, you can deal with the vignetting, maybe this is right up your alley. I'm going to say the 28-70 is a great lens to get you started with video. When I was reading reviews out there, it seems that a ton of videographers have purchased this lens specifically for wedding video. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably because of what I talked about earlier, with it being so lightweight and it could be lugged around easily for a day, which you can do with this, but this is a lot heavier. So the 28-70, I like it so much that I bought one myself to use on a gimbal at weddings. That's a great way to end the video. If you're interested in one of these, there's a link down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.